Daily Beast acquired a strange voicemail that portrays their apparent chummy relationship. It's a message they left for Florida State Representative Anna Eskamani in 2019, one of many contacts, which she described as weird.
My dear Anna, this is your favorite tax collector. I'm up in the Panhandle with your favorite U.S. Congressman, Mr. Gaetz.
Hi, Anna.
And we were just chatting about you and talking about your lovely qualities. And
we think you're the future of the Democratic Party in Florida.
Well, see, I know you're the future of it, so there's no thinking involved. Anyway, if you get this and you feel like chatting, give me a shout back.
Representative Eskamani is now calling on Congressman Gaetz to resign in the wake of the Times reporting. And I'm joined now by Florida State Representative Anna Eskamani and Cynthia Oxney, former federal prosecutor. Representative Eskamani, I must start with you on this weird, rather creepy voicemail. What did you take the purpose of that voicemail to be?
Well, thank you so much, Joy, for having me. Honestly, when I saw my phone ringing and he was calling, I didn't pick up because we didn't have that type of relationship to expect a phone call. And I was even more surprised to listen to the voicemail and hear not only his voice, but Congressman Matt Gaetz' voice as well. So for me, I mean, it seemed like they wanted to try to get closer to me, try to have some sort of chummy conversation with me, which again, I really do draw the line between personal and professional, especially when it comes to other elected officials.
I hate to be, I feel like this whole thing, I need a shower just having read the intro to this, but I'm sorry to have to ask you this on national television, but did you get the sense, you're a Democrat, right? You're not a member of, okay. Did you get the sense that Mr. Greenberg wanted to date you? Did this seem like a sort of romantic outreach in sort of the college sophomore level? Did it seem like they wanted to go out with, what did you think they wanted from you?
Yeah, I mean, it's an uncomfortable question, but I think it's an important one when it comes to the experiences of many women in politics, is that we're constantly objectified. We're constantly not seen as valid contributors to policy, but instead as objects of pleasure and as something to look at versus to respect. And so, yes, I absolutely got the feeling that it was very much, an attempt at an intimate conversation. Even the notion of your lovely qualities, that alone was very cringeworthy for me.
The last question on this line, and then I will move on, I promise. Do you worry in light of what we've now learned about Matt Gaetz and Mr. Greenberg and what they were up to, and things like allegations from CNN that Gaetz would show off pictures to fellow lawmakers of nude women that he claims that he had slept with? Quote, it was a point of pride, one of the sources said of Gaetz. And also that Mr. Greenberg was trafficking women and attempting to get them to have sex with him and maybe the congressman for money. When you look back on it, do you worry that they were trying to lure you into something that would have been along those lines, the trafficking world lines?
I think it's a very valid question and a very valid concern. I mean, these are the signs of trying to groom people to do what you want them to do. And when I look back at my entire engagement with Mr. Greenberg over the past, I would say maybe 3-4 years, I always try to keep a distance between us, but there was a lot of just pushy behavior, coercive behavior, attempting to make a conversation go into more intimate direction than I would want it to go. And so there definitely were signs of that. And again, I think it's so important that women, especially women in politics, share their stories, because unfortunately for me, it's just another day of being a woman in politics.
Yeah, and I just want to let our audience know, Cynthia, we're having a little bit of trouble with her shot right now. We're going to try to get her back. But I guess, may I ask, and I normally would never ask this question. It's a question I just generally don't ask, but how old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
I am a young but feeling very old 30-year-old.
Okay, but you're not in the right. Okay, so I just want I'm just checking that because of the sort of line of sort of reasoning around what they were doing. Did you at any point suspect that Mr. Greenberg was engaged in any kind of illegal activity? Did he strike you as somebody? I'll just leave it there. Did you ever suspect that he was engaged in any kind of illegal activity? He's accused of a lot of different varieties of illegal activity. Did you ever suspect that?
It's a great question. I first interacted with him because he had posted comments on his Facebook page that were Islamophobic in nature. So many members of the Central Florida community, the Muslim-led community, called him out for it. They invited me to join the space, and I also called him out for it. And then he attacked me on Twitter, threatening me politically, and then turned around and apologized and was seeking some sort of support from me. So it was a very just really difficult dynamic, and trying to, maintain some sense of professionalism and kindness while also realizing that this person is just kind of all over the place. He doesn't really have a lot of stability. And I think the rest of it speaks to the fact that he was engaged in some pretty ridiculous and inappropriate behavior, but I don't think any of us could have expected it to be this bad.